You know what's really interesting? The fact that this weekend I got to see two movies that were both comedy sequels, both having to do with Christmas, both having to do with the elders coming in for the holidays. So I just couldn't help but think, let's see which one gets more laughs. Let's take a look, shall we? What are my thoughts on Daddy's Home 2? So Daddy's Home 2 is the sequel to Daddy's Home. In Daddy's Home 1, Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg are dad and stepdad, and they keep fighting against each other. But towards the end of the movie, they just realize, hey, let's work together for the kids' sake. So in Daddy's Home 2, at the very beginning, they're best buds. They work really well together, but now their dads are coming home because it's Christmas time and they want to spend the holidays with each other. So here's the thing. I'm not really a fan of the first Daddy's Home because I didn't think it was funny. It was kind of that type of film or that type of comedy film to where I call it forced comedy. Forced comedy is a film to where it's supposed to be funny, and they think since it's supposed to be a comedy, that means every single scene has to be funny or has to have some sort of humor in it, except the scenes that are trying to be serious. That's like the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, when shit gets real, everybody's sad, but then somebody comes in to save the day at the end. You already know how it is. And so because of that, I didn't really enjoy the first one. So the second one, which was very interesting to me, did the same thing. However, the jokes actually landed more in the second one. So I said that to say, like, it wasn't, purely funny, like I was just laughing my ass off. No, the jokes were just like, oh, I like that. I'm laughing at that. I find that very funny. It's not like, the other guys. The other guys was hilarious. All right, that was like Dumb and Dumber 1 type humor to where, yeah, it's ridiculous, but I can't help but laugh. And you had a phenomenal cast. But with the second Daddy's Home, it just was, it was cool for what they were trying to do. I thought it was definitely better than the first one, that's for sure. And I like Mel Gibson and John Lithgow, their characters. I like the way they portrayed Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg's dad. I will also say, like, this was a movie to where, because of the person I watched it with, it kind of made it even more funny. Like, there is a scene in the movie to where Will Ferrell is talking to Mark Wahlberg's son, and he's explaining to him the best way to pick up girls. Like, you want to be a type of male figure in order to get the females. And I swear, it was just hilarious because the person I was with, like, I just looked at her like, yo, I know you are laughing at this as well. And she cracked up even more than me on this. When you see the movie and you know what scene I'm talking about, I hope you guys get a good laugh out there too. Overall, I did enjoy Daddy's Home 2. Again, I think it's better than the first one. It definitely has a lot more laughs. I also have to say, too, as a man that works behind the scene on some movies and shows here in Atlanta, the scene at the end of Daddy's Home 2, not going to spoil it, but I will say I can only imagine the extras casting director and the additional PAs that had to deal with the amount of BG that worked on that film. I know there's so many other scenes in movies out there to where it's like a dozen or way more than what you usually see, but the scene I was watching, I was like, oh, continuity. I know they were super strict on that, so however long they had to film that scene, praise the people that worked on that background-wise. I do actually recommend seeing Daddy's Home 2, especially if you're just in a lighthearted mood and you want to see a cool comedy. Then yeah, that's definitely a good movie to see, especially with the fact that it's the holiday season. So with that being said, yeah, you can grab a good friend and go see this movie in November and, get a little Christmas spirit vibe going in you. So guys, those are my thoughts on Daddy's Home 2. I want to know what you guys thought about it. Did you like it? Did you think it was funnier than the first one? Did you like the daddies in this one? The daddies, I guess? Whatever it is, let me know in the comment section below. And guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you want, you can click right here to see more of my thoughts on the matter.